Large scale economic activity takes place in a modern developing country. It is incumbent on the government to make laws so as to ensure that the profit making establishments do not exploit the workers. They also need to ensure the safety and security of the people. In this chapter, we shall study the role of the government in ensuring the economic and social security. Social security is primarily a social insurance program providing social protection against socially recognized conditions including poverty, old age, disablement, unemployment, etc. Importance of social security. Social security need in India has been felt by wage earning and low salaried class due to lack of official sympathy, lack of interest in welfare of worker, comparative weakness of trade union for the demand of social wage. Most of the rural informal sector workers in the world do not have any social security measures. In India, almost 90% of families earn their livelihood from the unorganized sector. Needs that necessitated the social security are physical risks, economic risks, and economic burden of large family. This is where the laws come in and ensure social justice. The laws are so framed that certain influential people in the society do not exploit others and everyone gets a fair chance to earn a living in a secure manner. There is a plethora of laws related to different professions and services to ensure that the work environment is safe, secure, and that in case of any accident, the welfare of the victim or her family is looked after. There are laws governing safety, health, pension, compensation for child workers, women workers, and so on. A few examples are Workmen Compensation Act 1923, Maternity Benefit Act 1961, Employees State Insurance Act 1948, Employees Provident Fund Act and Miscellaneous Provision Act 1952, the Payment of Gratitude Act 1972, etc. Various acts have been made for the protection of children. The main object of the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 is to address the social concern and prevent the employment of children who have not completed 14 years of age in certain jobs like dhabas, construction sites, domestic servants, beedi making and firecracker factories, etc. Any person who violates this and employs children below 14 years of age is punishable by a jail term of up to 3 years or a fine up to rupees 20,000. The Act provides that no child between 14 and 18 years of age shall be permitted to work between 7 p.m. and 8 a.m. and shall not be permitted to work overtime. No child shall work for more than 3 hours before he or she has an interval of 1 hour. He or she cannot work in more than one establishment on any day. A weekly holiday is allowed. When we talk about employee rights, various acts concerning industrial safety provide for health and safety measures for the workers. Workers have to be provided with facilities of drinking water, toilets, cleanliness, disposal of waste and effluents, ventilation and temperature, etc. by the employer. The main focus of Factories Act is towards the health benefits to the workers. Health chapter of the Act contains specification from section 11 to 19. Section 11 says the issue of cleanliness at the workplace, and according to section 12, disposal of waste and effluents, that is, every factory should make effective arrangements for the treatment of waste and effluents due to the manufacturing process carried on therein. Section 13 focuses on ventilation and temperature maintenance at workplace, and section 14 is giving the detail on the proper exhaustion of dust and fume in the factory. And section 15 specifies regarding the artificial humidification in factories. In this, the humidity level of air in the factories is artificially increased as per instruction from the state government. And section 16 is mentioning that no room in the factory shall be overcrowded to an extent that can be injurious to the health of workers employed therein. Section 18 specifies regarding arrangements for sufficient and pure drinking water for the workers at a clean and approachable location. Section 19 provides detail relating to the toilet facilities at factories. The Factories Act 1948 also provides provisions relating to safety measures for the workers employed therein. This is to ensure safety of workers working on or around the machines. According to section 17, it has been described that there should be proper arrangement of lighting in factories either by natural source or artificial sources. And section 21 says that fencing of machinery is necessary. According to section 23, employment of young person on dangerous machinery is not allowed. And section 24 provides provision of striking gear and devices for cutting of power in case of emergencies. And section 32 specifies that all floors, stairs, passages and gangways should be properly constructed and maintained so that there are no chances of slips or fall. And according to section 34, that is, no person in any factory shall be employed to lift, carry or move any load so heavy that might cause any injury. Section 35 provides specification regarding safety and protection of eyes of workers. Section 36 provides that no worker shall be forced to enter any chamber, tank, pit, pipe or other confined space in any factory in which any gas, fume, vapor or dust is likely to be present to such an extent as to involve risk to persons. Section 38 specifies that there should be proper precautionary measures built for fire, and according to section 45, in every factory there should be a properly maintained and well equipped first aid box or cupboard with the prescribed contents. Laws are made, enactment of the laws are very important. Once laws are enacted, it is very important to ensure that all affected parties abide by the laws. The government has an elaborate bureaucracy and various agencies which are entrusted with the task of ensuring that all laws are being followed in letter and spirit, and that violations, if any, are brought to the notice of the owners, and if required, fines and penalties are levied. They are also empowered to seize the license or permit of habitual or serial offenders. Commonly, there are some authorities send their representatives intermittently to inspect and enforce the laws. Amongst them, one is the municipal inspections. The various branches of the municipality inspect the construction and structural safety aspects of the enterprise so as to reduce the possibility of an accident which could cause severe losses to life and property and the neighborhood. Fire department checks the availability, serviceability of fire prevention means, their efficacy and the knowledge with the employees. They also check the availability and functionality of the emergency exit routes. Environment Protection Department send their officers to ensure that all gases, fumes and effluents are treated for toxicity and their disposal system working at the establishment. Excise and Taxation Department also carry out inspections in order to confirm the correct payment of taxes and duties by the entrepreneur, the revenue from which is ultimately utilized for the public facilities and the common cause. Despite all the checks imposed by the government, there are instances wherein the chain of inspectors and agencies falter in their duties and there are lapses on account of security and safety. The world has seen many disasters of various magnitudes, some because of human causes and other because of natural causes. Whatever be the cause, any disaster leads to loss of many lives and affects the families of thousands of people. In recent history, there have been one major industrial disaster in India, Bhopal gas tragedy. What were the factors which led to the gas leak? Those are the use of hazardous chemical like methyl isocyanate, storing these chemicals in large tanks. Possible corroding material was found in pipelines which led to leakage. Poor maintenance after the plant ceased production in the early 1980s. Failure of several safety systems due to poor maintenance and regulations. Safety systems being switched off to save money, including the MIC tank refrigeration system, which alone would have prevented the disaster. Environment protection has taken a front seat in the world affair as there is an imminent threat to the various life forms due to global warming and the depletion of the ozone layer of the atmosphere. Accordingly, for this social cause, the government has framed new laws regarding environment protection and reducing pollution both of air and water. Government has taken various steps to control pollution. One is introduction of CNG driven vehicles in many cities. Second, making it mandatory for all new vehicles to abide by pollution under control, certification and quarterly checks thereafter. Third one is enforcing industrial waste treatment before it is disposed into the environment, both in terms of gaseous waste and liquefied effluent.